Welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and make brand new treasures. I'm so glad you're with me today because today's project is so cute. Today we are making autograph books. So here's an example. So they're autograph books where I used index cards as the inside pages, and then these are images from programs. So you can see the different shows. You can see like Hadestown and Outsiders and such. And they're double-sided. And we've got, here's another one. Again, these are using images that are right out of programs or brochures. Again, with the index cards in the middle and more images on the back. And then we've got this one here. Now this one is using stickers, theater stickers, and just the playbill that I cut right off the top of the playbill. And again, more images on the back. And this is the one we're going to make today. So today, again, you've got your images, you've got your place where you can use this as a guest book or as an autograph book or a little scrapbook. It's got great possibilities and they are so easy to make. So I can't wait to show you how to make them. All right, let's get crafting. Let's take a closer look at these little autograph books. So each one has a cover and they have these basically index cards in the middle. So you can grab a bunch of autographs, or you can make it a mini scrapbook from a show that you're in, something like that, or maybe it's a school event or something like that. And then the back cover as well. And they're attached with these split rings or book rings, depending on where you get them. And you notice in this particular case, we've got the edge clips on them, so it gives it a little bit more stability. These are made with kind of a chipboard or a hard cardboard, but you could use anything like a cereal box or anything like that. And on this one I wove different images from shows and then cut out images from a brochure that I had and put them on the back as well. This one, these are stickers that I have that are theater stickers, which I thought were really fun. Again, just adding a playbill there. You got the pages in the middle, and then more stickers on the back. These are stickers that you can get on Amazon or any site that has stickers. I think even playbill.com has theater stickers too. And this one it's the same idea, but this one I took strips of Broadway playbills or images from the inside of the playbills and just did them on an angle. And I did this one so that you could do it either way. So you could have it where you autograph on this side, or you flip it over and it's the same, you could autograph on that side. And so I just think these are so cute. So we're gonna make one today. All right, let me clear this and we'll get started. All right, let's talk about the materials for today. So we're going to need some paper that we're going to use for the front and the back covers. So like it's underneath here, this is the paper. And then also for the inside cover. So I've got some paper here that I may use. You're going to need the index cards, and the index cards we're going to use in the inside as your like autograph pages or whatever you're using for maybe memorabilia. So we've got index cards. I'm going to show you how we determine the holes when we get to that. Obviously you'll need scissors. You need a hole punch so you can hole punch those holes. Here's my guide for hole punching, and I'll talk about that. I used a tape runner. You could use, double-sided tape if you want, or something, or a glue stick, but I used a tape runner for this. Now we've got I'll show you here. We've got just kind of these little eyelets. So I've got eyelets. I just dropped one on the floor. We got eyelets here, and the setter for the eyelets here, and I'll show you how to use that. I used these book corners. So you'll see here the corners on the book. It helps to keep it from kind of breaking down in the corner. And so those, I'll just show you how to use those. And I used one of these just to score the paper. You're going to use an awl, and that's going to be to create the holes in the board here. And so we've got, this is the chipboard that we're using for the outer covers. So you can use, this is a little bit of a heavier chipboard, but you can certainly use like a cereal box or something like that. I often use their, I get inserts in my cat food boxes, so sometimes I use those too, but this I happen to have, so I'm going to use that. These are book rings, and you can use these. They're also sometimes split rings. You can use them if you get in like a jewelry store. I happen to get colorful ones because I thought those were really fun. And then sort of any images that you want. These are stickers, and I'm going to use these for this one, and I did use them for this one here. These were stickers as well, and I thought that was really fun just to have some theater stickers on there. So these are stickers. I got these on Temu, to be honest, but I know they have them on Amazon, and basically, I'm going to open the package here. Come in, Allison. Basically, they are, they're just like all different types of theater stickers, and I love them. I just think they're really fun. And they stick well, and they've got really great images of different musicals. So that's what we're going to use for this. I actually cut this. I had cut this right off of a playbill that I had, and I'm going to mount that onto probably some paper to put on the front. I did that on this one as well. You see on the blue paper. On this one I mounted it on black paper, just to give it a little bit of definition. And let's see. Oh, I used some E6000 to put the book corners on these corners here on, and just a paper plate to put it on, and a toothpick. So that's it for materials. So I'm going to clear this and we'll get started. So we're going to start with, I am just using index cards for the interior. These happen to be 4x6 index cards, and I was trying to figure out like where I would want the, the rings to go. And so I created this template, and so I've got here, so it was like 3/8 of an inch from the side, and then about 3/4 of an inch down from each of the edges. So, and that's just, I just did that kind of randomly just so that I could make sure that all the cards were equal. I just made a line and cut that out, or hole punch that. So I use that as my guide literally for all of them. So I just cut that, just hole punch right there. And you can certainly hole punch as many as you'd like for yours. I've got, I don't know, 25, 30, whatever. Okay, so that's that. So then we're going to do the chipboard. So as I mentioned, the cards are 4x6. And so what I decided to do is make the chipboard, the outside, just a little bit bigger. So you can see, so I actually added 1/4 of an inch for each side. So here's one piece of chipboard here, and you can see I've made it 4.5 by 6, 4.25, sorry, by 6.25. So literally just taking, and I forgot to tell you that you'd need a craft knife. If you're doing this with something that is, like your cat food or cereal box, you can cut that with scissors. But in this particular case, you need a craft knife so that you can cut through. And just take your time with it so that you get a clean edge. And protect your surface, obviously. So close. Okay. I'm so close. Come in. And then we're gonna just trim that on the other side. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut the other piece, and then we'll continue on. So now we're going to cover the chipboard with paper. So I've just cut just a piece of paper that's, you know, kind of rough cut it, a little bit bigger than the chipboard, by about an inch around. You don't have to be very specific. I am going to take my tape runner and I'm going to add tape all around the edges of this and just kind of give it a good bit of tape in the middle. And then I'm going to put this in the middle of the, sorry, I'm off camera there, in the middle of the paper. And then we're going to cut the corners. Now, normally if you're doing a project, you want to be really careful of the corners. We're going to add those corner pieces. So it's kind of okay if the chipboard shows through, but you still want to cut the corners just to get rid of some of that excess bulk. All right, so now we're going to do, I just kind of, I'm going to take my tool here, and I'm just going to score right around where the chipboard is, just to encourage paper to bend a little bit that way. All right, so then we're going to take this, and I've put the glue there. I'm just going to kind of roll it, and then let that cover the side there like that. And we'll do the same with the other 3 sides. So now we've got these covered. You see that we're not going to do the inside just yet. We are going to take a pattern that we've had, and we're going to put this on the outside. And I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark where the holes are going to be. This will help us just to kind of plan where the images are going to be. And then on the other side, I'm going to flip it over, and the holes will be, so again, just kind of pairing it up. Holes will be here. Okay, so just so that we have kind of a visual indication as to where they're going to be. Because remember, they're going to be flipped, so this will be like that. If that makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to basically decorate the front of this. And so I'm going to use these stickers, just kind of like I did on the other one. And it's all, you know, all what you want to do here in terms of the layout. And if you remember, we're going to put in the middle, we're going to put Playbill in the middle. And so that will kind of be the highlight of the center there. So there's so many great images here. So literally, I'm just going to start taking these off. The sticker, you can see that it's just a sticker. And the reason we haven't put the inside cover on yet, is I'm going to actually overlap these so it goes over the edge. See how that goes over the edge? And I'm going to flip it over the edge, and that will help to secure the edges too, but it also gives it some visual interest and such. So that's why I'm doing that. And so I'm going to fast forward this. got these kind of covered, and I was trying to mix up the colors and such. Now, some of these have gone over the edge. It's not a big deal. We're just going to cut those off because those are going to be cut. The corners are going to be covered by the corners that we've got. So just want to eliminate some of that bulk in the corner here. And a little bit over here too, just to remove some of that bulk. Okay. All right. So that is done. I do have to redo the marks on this because they got covered. And make sure they're in the right spot. That'd be problematic. Okay. All right. So we got those. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the insides. So we're looking for paper for the inside, and I had pulled another piece of paper, but I didn't like the color of it with the bright colors of the stickers. So literally I just took a piece of, this is scrapbooking paper, and I used my index card as a guide. So that's how big I made it. So that works out really easily. And so basically what you're going to do is you just literally take your tape runner. You're going to add tape all the way around. And I make an X, and then you're going to put it right on the top. I've been doing this sort of like, I used to do scrapbooks like this as a teenager, and I was a big fan of just the whole look of it. All right, like that. And I'm going to do this one too. Covers up all those edges, so it looks nice and clean on the inside. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to add our playbill, and I think I'm going to use that same red. Might as well just to kind of spruce that up a little bit. And I'm going to take my tape runner. I'm going to add tape on the back. Right on here. Now I'm going to leave us a bit of a border around the edge, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let me just get that down. It's not quite the cut. When I cut that out, I didn't cut it out exactly straight, but I'm going to use these fun scissors and cut like a fancy little kind of border around it just for fun. And these kinds of scissors are really popular in scrapbooking stores. If you've got a scrapbooking store nearby, certainly Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any place like that would have it. And it's really fun to make just a nice kind of decorative border. So then this is going to go in the middle here. Right? Isn't that cute? So again, adding some of the tape. Notice I'm adding it all the way up to the edge if I can, just so that I got it really nicely adhered. Of course, then I get it on the counter, and then that's the problem. All right, adding it right in the middle. You want to be careful. You don't want to get too close to those holes. But adding right in the middle there. That look awesome? Okay, we're getting so close. So what I've done next is I've got some E6000. I just poured some on my little paper plate here, and I've got a toothpick. And I'm going to put E6000 on my toothpick, okay? And I'm just going to put it inside the book corner here, all right, just so that we get a little bit of coverage. And I've discovered you want to do it from the back just to make sure that you catch that piece of paper in the back. The front you will catch, but the back sometimes gets caught, and you want to Make sure that gets underneath. Okay, so there we go. And it's a nice tight fit. If you're using the thicker chipboard like I am, it's a nice tight fit. If using something like a cereal box, you can actually, if you're using a cereal box, I would double it just to give it a little bit of strength. And you know, if you're wondering where you can get these book corners, you can get them at any of the craft stores. Like I said, Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. You can also order them online. And see how I'm pushing it right into that? And it gives it this really nice finished look on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all 8 corners. And again, just adding that glue in there. And then just want to make sure you get it in there so they stick. Okay, and then going right on to... That's why we didn't worry about the corners so much on the cutting, because we knew we were going to cover them up. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to finish these and I will be right back. So now we're going to make the holes in the covers so that we can attach it to the index cards. So I'm going to take an awl. So my awl, it's pretty skinny, and you're going to, so I don't know if you can see the holes that we drew. I'm going to take that and push it through, and be very careful because you don't want your finger on the other side to be in the wrong place. So you're going to push that through. And if you've got the like cereal box or something like that, you probably can do this with your regular hole punch, but this is a little bit more sturdy. So you're going to push that through. Now, that's not a big enough hole for what we need, and I'm going to kind of pull that around. And you want to do that from the outside to the inside. So now I've got these tiny little scissors that I grabbed, and basically I put them through and kind of turn them around. And it did make the hole a little bit bigger. So if you have a larger awl, that would be helpful. But I grabbed the scissors mostly to cut off the excess paper that came in the center or the inside cover here, just so that we can kind of get rid of some of that before adding the little here, the connectors here, I can't come up with a name. Words are hard today for some reason. So I'm going to take these and put them on the outside. See if that hole's big enough to get that in there. Oh, nope, not quite big. So this is where I added the scissors to try to help just get that hole just a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, and then the same thing on the other side. Get that a little bit larger. And this is just to kind of reinforce that hole. Now, if you've got the cereal box, you could certainly reinforce it with some of those, I don't know if you use for your school papers, the stickers that you can add on there. You could do that, certainly, just to reinforce it. Totally up to you. Okay. All right, I'll go there now. So then we've got this is the gadget that we use to set it. So we're going to take this kind of the male part here. It's going to go inside, and you're going to squeeze the handle. And then that sets it in there, okay? And same thing on this one. This one's a little bit raised. Okay, and that sets it. So that that will be ready for when we are going to thread the ring through. So I'm going to do the other one, and I will be right back. Okay, I finished adding the eyelets. That's what they're called. My little brain freeze there. So you can see there. And so these are the split rings, or sometimes they're book rings, depending on where you get them. You can get them at the jewelry center at your local craft store, or even book. You can get them at, like, these I actually got at Staples. So you're basically going to take your ring and push it through the first eyelet there, and then you're going to feed it through the holes with the cards, and then through the back. And then the beauty of these is that you can just snap them together. Okay, so I'm getting it. Looks so cute. All right, and then the second one, same song, second verse. All right, put it through the holes there, put it through the back hole, and snap it together. And there we go. I'm just gonna pull that around. And there we go. Isn't that cute? And places for, and what's so great about these, using these rings, is that you can open it up and it's a little bit easier to pull the cards around when you're getting autographs or whatever. And there's the back. How cute is that? I could actually add maybe even another sticker on the side here. I love these. I just think these are just so precious. And like this one I said, I used playbills, actual playbills. These were done with stickers, and these were done with program images of brochure images. And so you can create your own autograph book with materials that you have in your stash. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know which one is your favorite. Please put in the comments below which one you like the best. But thank you for joining me for this week's Theater Craft, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.